Hi, my name is Mike Carnell, and I'm the President and VP of Brand Management of Topper's Bike Shop. Today, I will be presenting on our business strategy and performance, as well as our firm's strengths and weaknesses.
Hello, my name is Grace Fodor, and I am the Vice President of Sales Management and Internet Marketing for Topper's Bike Shop. Today, I will be presenting on the key features of the marketing plan.
Hello, my name is Molly Bauer, and I'm the Vice President of Finance and Advertising. Today, I'm going to talk to you about the overview of our company and our financial and market performances.
I'm Tyler Rosenthal, the VP of Business Analytics and Finance. I'll be going over how the firm is prepared to compete in the future and lessons learned along the way.
Starting with the overview of the company, as a team, we decided to name our company Topper Bike Shop. We also decided in Q1 the responsibilities of each person, as you can see in the chart to the right. My primary responsibility was the VP of Finance, and my secondary responsibility was VP of Advertising. Tyler's primary responsibility was VP of Business Analytics, and his secondary responsibility was VP of Finance. Grace's primary responsibility was VP of Sales Management, and her secondary responsibility was VP of Internet Marketing. Michael's primary responsibility was VP Brand Management, and his secondary responsibility was President of Overall Leadership. As a team, we decided to come up with a couple different norms. Attendance to all meetings is mandatory. Members come prepared for all meetings, having completed all assignments. An agenda is prepared and followed in each meeting. Members brainstorm solutions and problems and only critique after all the ideas are on the table. Everyone has an opportunity to participate in discussions. Members are open to giving and receiving honest feedback to and from each other. We also decided for our decision-making process that all important decisions should be made by the vote of the majority of the team. With all of these ideas, we hope to become a very successful team. Now moving on to the financial and market performance section of the equation. Based off the information in the first chart, we came in last place in the category of cumulative total performance with our score of 4.2. ABK led the market with a score of 696.535. Looking at the cumulative financial performance, we did not come in last place, but we were in the lower section with a score of 19.688. ABK again led this section with a score of 47.543. Moving on to the cumulative market performance, we were in last place with this section with a score of 0.103, and again, ABK led that section with a score of 0.678. Our marketing effectiveness was not at the top tier either. We had a score of 0.717, while the other team had a score of 0.822. For cumulative investment in the future, we did not lose this category. We had a score of a 2.585, while the top score was a 3.711. We also didn't lose the cumulative wealth category by having a score of 1.123, and the top company had a score of 11.682. Based off the information given in the first chart, we were not satisfied with the results. We wanted to have stronger numbers in terms of each of the categories. Now moving on to the second chart of the market share participation part. We shared 12.33% of the youth market with 4 other companies, although Top Notch Bikes didn't share any of the youth market, so we basically shared 12.33% of the market with 3 other companies. We had a market share of 3.48% in the work category. We did have the lowest share out of the 4 teams within that category. Now moving on to the recreation share. Again, we were at the bottom with a score of a 3.48% share out of all the other 4 companies too. Our mountain bike did more than we thought it would do with a 6.38% share out of the 3 companies. Focus Creative did not have any mountain bikes, so they didn't share any part of that market. Lastly, we did not have any speed bikes, so we didn't share any part of that market. Our total market share was low with a 4.09% out of 100%. We needed to be better in this section. We didn't know how to change our position at the beginning, so we got far behind. Our sales at the end were not too bad. We ended up making some profitability, so we didn't fail that much. We ended up with a gross margin of $2,060,343, which is pretty decent, but it's not the best.
Your marketing plan is the map that will lead you to your sales targets. It should consider the complete market before breaking down specific strategies such as mailing, social media, content strategy, promotional offers, and other initiatives that will assist you in gaining access to clients. When it came to our brand strategy for Topper's Bike Shop, we proceeded to engage our potential clients based on our strengths. So when deciding which segment of the market to focus on, we looked at the brand judgment data and proceeded from there. Prioritizing our youth bike was at the forefront of our approach. This is because the Supreme Bolt is one of our most popular bikes according to our demand data. We then implemented where we should turn our attention predicted by our demand. We wanted to create a brand that was recognized for its dependability, safety, and performance in its target market. More specifically, we wanted to monopolize the youth bike market while still simultaneously attracting working class people searching to increase brand loyalty. We also were conscious of our competitors' pricing in the marketplace where we compete. We must ensure that our prices are not excessively high or we may lose sales to those competitors. In markets with less competition, however, we have a little more flexibility in determining our price. On all of these models, we provided at least a $50 rebate. Our models' pricing were widely accepted in their respective segments. Advertising strategies are patterns that companies use to help them market their product to customers. Our advertising strategy as Topper's Bike Shop included local commercials, social media, regional media, and internet marketing to reach our target customers. This enabled us to build local customer bases that would return to our store again and again, otherwise known as repeat customers. We intended to market our youth bike in the leisure and entertainment department so that we could get more people to see them, and as a result, of course, make money. We also wanted to advertise our work bike in general news magazines because it was more universal to get the bike out there. Our recreation advertisements was also included in the leisure and entertainment publications for the same reason. Finally, we advertised our mountain bikes in the biking magazines in hopes of increased sales in that exact target market. Moving on to key features of sales channels. Sales channel tactics are frequently implemented as part of a company's expansion strategy. Research and measures are needed when adopting a sales channel strategy. To give a rundown of our sales channel as Topper's Bike Shop, we as a company used to operate just in North America, but more recently, we expanded to Europe and other countries, opening stores in Seville, Warsaw, and Hangzhou. We competed against 2 other competitors in New York City, 1 other competitor in Toronto and Portland, and 1 competitor in Seville and Warsaw. We were up against 3 competitors in Hangzhou. We increased our team in New York City and Toronto to 14 individuals per store due to the growing number of locations we needed to be able to operate and be able to keep these stores running.
A strong business strategy can act as a playbook, telling you as a business where to focus your efforts. Our business strategy from the beginning at Topper Bike Shop was to play to our strengths we found from our market testing. At first, we started with a very strong youth bike design. We received positive feedback and wanted to dominate this section of the market. However, we did not want to limit ourselves, so we expanded into other markets, such as recreation and work bikes, and eventually we even expanded to mountain bikes. As a team, we chose to launch our business in North America, more specifically in New York City and Toronto. We felt like it was a great opportunity to target large populations looking for alternative means of transportation. Eventually, we expanded to Portland and even further to Europe and other parts of Asia. Next, I want to talk about our brand's performance. As you can see from the charts on the slides, between quarters 6 and 9, we almost doubled, if not more, sales for all of our bike models. Our bike models between these quarters grew every quarter, the number of sales. As far as profitability, our firm performed very well. We were profitable in every quarter. However, we did lack in market share. I would say that this was because we found our niche markets and delivered quality products in those areas that we were in. I would say a way that we could have avoided, low market share would have been to expand to other areas of the world faster. We kind of tweaked our designs and, focused on getting a lot of market share in these first couple areas in North America that we were first in. When building a business, it is important to periodically step back and assess strategies and marketing positions. This allows you to make adjustments as a business that could help the organization flourish. At Topper Bike Shop, we would step back in our group meetings each week and assess the previous quarter and make adjustments accordingly. Now, to get to some of our strengths, they included our youth bike design, our mountain bike design, advertising, marketing strategies, product quality, and our pricing strategy. Our youth bike was our most popular bike for a large amount of the simulation, so we focused our efforts heavily into marketing that. Our mountain bike, it later became on and gave us the most amount of sales, so we shifted our marketing strategies towards our mountain bike. Our advertisements were rated very high, either acceptable or good for every brand that we created an advertisement for. We marketed our products in as many channels as we could. We used local and regional ads, as well as advertisements in magazines and catalogs targeted at our target audience, as well as promoting heavily on social media and using search engine marketing as well. Now, to get to some of our weaknesses. If you want to be a successful business, you also need to recognize your weaknesses. Some of our weaknesses included our company size, and the amount of store locations we had, our market share, and lastly was our volume of sales. I believe our size struggled because we were somewhat hesitant in the beginning to open new locations. So as time went on, this made it harder for us to expand and gain market share in markets that the competition were already in. Having fewer stores meant that we sold fewer products compared to the competition, and all of these factors affected our market share.
This is what has prepared our firm to compete in the future. The three main sections I have are ingrained ability to adapt, financial growth, and reinvestment. The ability to adapt is basically learning from our mistakes, learning what the market trends are, learning what things need change to increase sales, and that has led to our financial growth. Our financial growth is shown that we have increased revenues and profits and sales quarter over quarter consistently. In the future, that's bound to grow, assuming we reinvest properly. Now, those reinvestments, we take those profits that we've been getting and we put them into research and development, advertising, marketing, all that, so we can continue to grow, continue to learn more about the market, continue to gain customers, continue to add more features and value. Moving on to lessons learned, some of the major lessons that we learned from basically differentiating from competitors and focusing on market expansion. One thing we noticed is that being different from what the group is doing really will pay off and help pay dividends in the future. Um, One major place we saw success was with youth bikes. And I really think that's why, because other companies had initially hopped in. Um, and then just basically once we get that market share, continually getting those customers to come back with more features, better products, than any competitors that end up coming in. Because our market share ended up dropping significantly in that space, but maybe there was more we could have done in that area. Another thing was in terms of focusing on market expansion, really took a lax position on expanding. If we would have maybe been taken more initiative to expand to other countries sooner, perhaps we could have had even more sales, more success, because we would have been basically first movers in those markets, meaning we would have less competition and perhaps more flexibility in price, allowing us to reinvest and deliver the customers even better products down the line. Again, establishing us more as a company. In conclusion, we learned a lot about um, how to form a company and what to do. At the beginning of the whole process, we thought we should take everything slow, see how it plays out, but we learned that we should have been more aggressive, branch out in other markets. But with that being said, those are lessons we learned. It's kind of the whole point of the assignment. And we had fun along the way. And we learned, I guess, what it takes to run a business, how to start it, and how many variables there really are. But we grew as a team trying to figure out all those variables and what we need to do to increase those sales. So it was a really fun process.